Now, let's join ace broadcaster Mamode Akuga as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, Mamode Akuga.
Inside the Niger Delta. Inside the Niger Delta.
As the Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC begins the process for its 2026 Foreign Postgraduate Scholarship, the Commission says the exercise will be free and fair, giving the best candidates a chance to pursue their graduate studies abroad. Director of Education, Health and Social Services at the Commission, Patience Ezugo, made this known last week while inspecting the computer-based test for candidates of the 2026 scholarship in Port Harcourt.
The Commission last week invited 6,200 candidates who applied for the scholarship from the 9 states of the region for a computer-based test in Port Harcourt. These candidates were selected from over 16,000 applicants. While monitoring the exercise, the NDDC Director of Education, Health and Social Services, Dr. Patience Ezugo, said the program is meant to raise future leaders who will bring development to the Niger Delta.
The investment he's making now is for future development. We intend to have a region where you have great men and women who has been invested in through NDDC scheme. We would have developed them to be able to carry out any form of discipline that they will want.
The NDDC started its Foreign Postgraduate Scholarship Program in 2010 to give Niger Delta youths advanced skills in areas like engineering, medicine, and oil and gas, as well as in other relevant disciplines. This scheme went into a brief hiatus, which many ascribe to the large turnover of the leadership of the Commission. However, the current Leadership Governing Board Chairman, Chiedu Ebie, and Managing Director Dr. Samuel Obuku have not just revived the program but rejigged it to ensure timely and swift payment of tuition and other benefits to avoid unnecessary delays. Some of the candidates who sat for the test said the process was indeed seamless and without hitches.
Thank you so much. It is actually a welcome development, and just keep doing what you're doing. People are benefiting from it, lives are being transformed, and just keep doing it.
The entire program is good. It's encouraging for young graduates that want to further their education. NDDC is giving them opportunity to further it overseas, so I think that's a great opportunity.
Successful candidates from this test will proceed to the interview stage before the final selection for the scholarship. In the recent past, students under this scholarship had demonstrated great academic achievement, with many graduating with flying colors from top universities in Europe. For example, in 2024, 11 beneficiaries made distinctions at Coventry University in the United Kingdom, and in 2025, 32 made the mark from the same Coventry University.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Over 500 indigenes of Igwide Kingdom and other neighboring communities in Isoko South local government area of Delta State recently benefited from free medical services including dental and eye care, malaria treatment, and other essential health services. The intervention was part of activities marking the official launch of Inside the Niger Delta Health and Educational Foundation. The foundation, which is an initiative of Wove Communications Limited, the producers of the syndicated radio and television expository program Inside the Niger Delta, will provide direct support to vulnerable and underserved communities across the oil-rich region.
For over 5 decades, the story of the Niger Delta has largely remained one of marginalization and neglect. This has often led to agitations by several activists, some of whom had to pay the ultimate price for choosing not to remain silent over the wanton injustice that continues to afflict the region. In 2018, Inside the Niger Delta was conceived to add a voice to this long-standing struggle. About a decade later, The premium television program prides itself on being the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, bringing to the fore extraordinary stories from the grassroots about the aspirations of the people, while also promoting the rich cultural heritage of the region. As part of efforts to deepen its impact and drive direct community intervention, Wovik Communications Limited, the producers of Inside the Niger Delta program, unveiled Inside the Niger Delta Health and Educational Foundation at the Unity Hall in Igbide Town, the hometown of its managing director and anchor, High Chief Felix Mamode Akuga, in Isoko South Local Government of Delta State. The event, which coincided with the birthday of Chief Akuga, brought together several dignitaries, including the Delta State Governor, who was represented by the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Joseph Onajeme, the Ovie of Igbide Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Patrick Okpomo Agre I, and the Ovie of Agbara Warri Kingdom. Others included the Delta State Commissioner for Land Survey and Urban Development, Chief Imamusi Obiode, Director General, Delta State Revenue, Monitoring, Tracking and Audit, Chief Mike Edegware, Chief Ferguson Ajirogene Onwo, Member of the Delta State House of Assembly, Chairman of Isoko South Local Government Area, Honorable Warri Ovoke Friday, amongst others.
Beyond our responsibility of reporting these challenges, we believe that taking proactive steps through this foundation will enable us to extend meaningful support, especially to far-flung rural and riverine communities across the 9 states of the Niger Delta, helping to improve their overall quality of health and access to education.
An inaugural free medical outreach was also held as part of the ceremony, as well as the distribution of other support materials to community people, including food supplies, mosquito nets, raincoats, big umbrellas, and many more.
I'm very happy about what is happening now. See the crowd, you see that everybody is interested in this medical test. It will help a lot of people because most of them are complaining that this is paining me, this is paining me, this is paining me. They're asking me that, they are medicine, I'm seeing everything there, so it will help.
Wow, I feel like crying. The joy is overwhelming. I went to buy this umbrella. I'm a POS stand owner. The POS they gave, I bought new umbrella, this same size, for 25k January. The season, the breeze was much, so I was not there at that very moment, and the breeze scattered it. But today, gosh, I got it for free without paying a dime for it. All I would say is thank you, God. Thank you, the clan of South Igbide Kingdom. I'm overwhelmed. Thank you. I say God bless you.
The official unveiling of the foundation was later performed at the residence of Chief Akuga by the Ovie of Agbara Warri Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Kingsley Emakbo Orere Igbe II, and the 8th Ologboshere of Warri Kingdom, Chief Ayiri Emami.
Your principal have done what a lot of people have not done. So we ask God to keep him and give him good health so he can continue to give to the people. And this foundation will be great. The world will hear about the foundation. This is just the beginning.
So if we see one of us who decided to channel his money, his resources into education, all we do is to give adequate support to the foundation. So the foundation is a welcome development in Isoko land and Nigeria at large. So we congratulate him once more, and he's a good man.
Delta South Senator Joel Onuakpo Thomas and his entourage also joined in the ceremony at the residence of Chief Akuga. These dignitaries, both at the Unity Hall and the residence, were unanimous in their felicitations.
So I wish him well, and that he did a medical outreach for his people. That is awesome. You know, thinking about the poor, thinking about the vulnerable is the way to go. So I want to thank him for that, and I wish him the very best that life holds for him.
I am happy that in spite of all the opportunities available to him, he brought this celebration home, because your roots are everything. So I especially congratulate him, and I know it's just a beginning for him.
And we're happy that a lot of lives have been touched. I will continue to support him and hope that he will continue to do more for the community.
Chief Felix Akuga, the great illustrious son of Isoko Nation, and we are proud of him. He has taken Niger Delta struggle to a very high level, and we wish him many years. We wish him success. We wish him all the good things in his life.
Staff of WOVI Communications were not left out as they expressed their desire to join hands in amplifying the voices of the largely backward communities of the Niger Delta and also providing solutions to their plights, especially in areas of health and education.
Tell you that he is a thoroughbred professional, somebody who has always committed himself to charting new path, and in this instance, aside just telling the Niger Delta story, he has gone a step ahead to see that, okay, some of the challenges we encounter in field, how can we come in,
This initiative will go a long way in also offering assistance. That is what we call by living a life of impact.
Having someone who has made so much mark for himself in the journalism industry and then going out of his way to also ensure that he also affects their lives is a good step in the right direction.
He's always going out there to the creeks to make sure that he's able to relate with the people, find out what their problems are, and become the voice of the voiceless. So I believe that the people should expect way much more help, way much more support from the foundation, because he has them at heart.
Inside the Niger Delta, Azikel Group, oil and gas, dredging, power and air transportation. Azikel Group, petroleum product sufficiency, energy sustainability and infrastructure development.
Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has commended Sheriff Oborevwori of Delta State for his deliberate and people-centered governance approach, which continues to transform Delta State's socio-economic landscape. He made this known last week at the annual lecture series of the Yoruba Tennis Club in Lagos, where Governor Oborevwori featured as the guest lecturer.
In about 3 years in office, Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has continued to redefine governance in Delta State through deliberate investment in both human capital and infrastructure development. This holistic approach, now translating into improved living standards for the people, has continued to attract commendation from individuals and institutions within and outside the state. Last week, his Lagos State counterpart, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, at the annual lecture series in the Yoruba Tennis Club, commended Governor Oborevwori for his visionary leadership.
We know too well who you are, how you have been running and governing this state for almost 3 years now, and we know too well that your people will give you a second chance, for you to do another 4 years when you complete this first 4 years. Because indeed, we know that development, infrastructure, and otherwise is happening in all parts of Delta State.
Governor Oborevwori, who was the keynote speaker at the event, highlighted how his administration's inclusive policies have continued to promote equitable development and social cohesion for both indigents and settlers across the state.
The repeated emphasis on advancement across the 3 senatorial districts underscores a steadfast commitment to equity and inclusion. Our administration has extended opportunities to non-indigenous, affirming that in Delta State, access to prosperity transcends ethnic affiliations.
Other dignitaries at the event also commended Governor Oborevwori for his pragmatic leadership and results-driven governance in Delta State.
We were both ESCO of Conference of Speakers of Nigeria. Its qualities, its achievements, its capacity and its sources. We appreciate you for the good job you are doing over there.
You also embarked on building enabling infrastructure that will ease actualization of bridges, access to healthcare infrastructure, provision of state-of-the-art, affordable healthcare facilities are learning from the Delta. I'm also happy to hear from your lecture that your educational policies, which are several multiple institutions and youth development.
Many observers familiar with the ongoing transformational drive in Delta State affirm that Governor Oboriwari's implementation of the More agenda is steadily repositioning the oil-rich state as a model of sustainable growth, infrastructural renewal, and inclusive governance.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Civil servants in Bayelsa State have applauded Governor Doyediri and his Assured Prosperity Administration for placing high priority on workers' welfare as they joined millions worldwide to commemorate the 2026 International Workers' Day. The commendation was made during a colorful May Day celebration held at Peace Park in Yenagoa, where the governor, alongside his deputy and other top government functionaries, celebrated with workers across the state.
Dressed in diverse union attire, workers in Bayelsa State turned out in large numbers last week to mark the 2026 Workers' Day celebration in the Glory of All Land State. In his address, the chairman of the Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, in the state, Comrade Barnabas Simon, acknowledged the economic challenges confronting workers, but noted that the Senator Doyediri administration has been deliberate in improving the welfare of civil servants and indeed all Bayelsans.
Ingratitude and insensitivity if we do not first recount and express our sincere appreciation to you for speedy attention and approval you gave to several of our demands at this very arena last year. Your inspiring and dedicated leadership will remain indelible. On our part, we pledge to remain committed to the service of the state.
For his part, Governor Doyediri commended the workers for their continued dedication, resilience and invaluable contributions to the development of the state. He also promised to ensure even more interventions, especially in remuneration and accommodation for the civil servant, who he said are the wheels that drive governance.
I have also been a worker, and normally every year you have an increment in your step. That is the normal thing. Therefore, the head of service is hereby directed to implement that as it is contained in the civil service rules.
Senator Diri also used the opportunity to talk about the newly installed and inaugurated 60-megawatt gas turbines in the state.
We did not commission darkness. We commissioned that gas turbine. It is fully installed. All you are seeing are the final electronic. That gas turbine is one of the most modern gas turbine. And I want to assure you once again that I am a man of my words. And that we have delivered these 60 megawatts, and in no date from now, you will be seeing lights in your houses.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Constituents of Honorable Fred Agbedi, member representing Sagbama Ikirimo Federal Constituency in Bayelsa State, say his effective representation is continuing to translate into tangible infrastructure upgrade and better living conditions for his people. They made this known recently during the commissioning of a 31-kilometer earth road at Amatu 1, as well as the inauguration of solar mini-grid system at the Agoro Community Health Center in Ikirimo local government area of Bayelsa State.
For decades, access to rural communities in the oil-rich Niger Delta has remained difficult due to the high cost and technical challenges often associated with road construction in the region's swampy and waterlogged terrain. This has often left several settlers in the riverine communities isolated from the outside world. In a bid to close this development gap for several coastal communities in his constituency, member representing Sagbama Ekeremo Federal Constituency of Bayelsa State, Honorable Fred Agbedi, in 2021 initiated a 31-kilometer access road to link about 8 coastal communities including Age, Amazo, Okobebe, Orobiri, Azamabiri, Age Pambush, Lagos Camp, and Amatu 1 in Ekeremo local government area. After years of bush clearing and embankment, Honorable Agbedi was joined recently by the member representing Nembe Brass Federal Constituency, Honorable Mrs. Mary Ebikake, alongside other political and community leaders for the commissioning of the graded road. The excited residents and stakeholders at a brief reception held in honor of the lawmaker said his gesture is proof that coastal and riverine communities in the state are not impossible to develop. They called on government at all levels as well as oil companies operating in the area to collaborate towards ensuring the project's full completion.
And for me to come here today to see that little opportunity that was given to Fred Agbedi and what he has done, I want to say, my boss, Fred Agbedi, you have done very well.
Being the traditional ruler of this place, we never imagined that this kind of road will be here. So we want to appreciate Right Honorable Fred Agbedi for taking this bold step. Those that are in support of developing communities should assist him.
This is a landmark project. This is what only somebody like Fred Agbedi can do, daring the dare. To come all this way with this contract, with this job, is just to show the kind of person he is.
For his part, Honorable Fred Agbedi reaffirmed his commitment to inclusive representation, promising to continue putting the interest of his people first. Next was the commissioning of 230 solar-powered streetlights in Agoro town. Also commissioned was a solar mini-grid system at the Agoro Community Health Center. The people say the project will go a long way in improving healthcare delivery and enhancing security in the area.
Since this light came into this place, so everything changed. More especially at night when you bring patients. Tell everywhere is dark. How do we do this? But because of the visibility of the lights, we don't find anything different.
We are very happy. There are times we find out there is, we will sleep here, no lights. They are saying Honorable Fred Agbedi, PhD, thanks to him. And we are always saying, let his position get higher.
Over the years, Honorable Fred Agbedi has continued to champion impactful initiatives across his constituency, especially in human capital development and infrastructure expansion. For the people, his latest intervention is a milestone that will improve their overall quality of life and accelerate grassroots development.
Inside the Niger Delta.
The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, is continuing with its drive to digitize its operations by taking the message to key stakeholders, including contractors and service providers across the Niger Delta region. At a sensitization and training workshop held in Aba, Abia State, the Commission's Assistant Director of Procurement, Freeman Akpofure, said the initiative is aimed at aligning stakeholders with ongoing reforms and ensuring compliance with global best practices in procurement.
The e-procurement system is designed to simplify the bidding process for contractors. It replaces the manual system, which was often characterized by bulky documentation, limited monitoring, and less transparent contract awards. In line with this policy, the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC) commenced the stakeholder sensitization and training across the 9 Niger Delta states to ensure a smooth transition to the digital platform. In his remarks, Assistant Director of Procurement (NDDC) Freeman Akpofure noted that the reform would strengthen accountability and enhance the Commission's capacity to deliver development projects effectively across the region.
The obvious consequence of this sensitization workshop is to get stakeholders, contractors and service providers of the Commission align their procurement operations to the strategic repositioning of the Commission for efficient service delivery.
The digitization efforts also reflection to a more transparent and technology-driven system during the Commission's 2026 management retreat in Owerri. Stakeholders at the workshop described the initiative as timely and forward-looking.
What they're doing, I think, is the right step in the right direction, because the world is all about the globalization, and it's all about log into your system, be able to log in to look at what.
It will also eliminate every form of unjust act, in the sense that people tend to.
The rollout of the e-procurement system, the NDDC says it is better positioned to improve service delivery, strengthen public trust, and ensure that development projects across the Niger Delta are executed with greater transparency and efficiency.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Well, that's the size of our package on the program for today. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region, will be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDNTV Nigeria for these stories and many more. Until next week, I am Mamode Akuga thanking you for tuning in. Bye for now.